Hey guys, so as you can see this week we have no Kerrie. She is off being amazing as usual. Overachiever. So yes, so she's being off being amazing, so I've got control this week and I thought I would just, firstly thank everyone who's watching our videos so far. We really appreciate it. Thumbs up. Alright, so today I thought I would share with you guys a little bit of story about me, since, no competition. So I thought maybe I would tell you guys about how I came out. There's two reasons for me doing this. Firstly, so you guys can get to know me a little bit better. And secondly, also, I feel like me sharing this story might help and give courage to people who are out there who may be looking for someone or looking for advice on the best ways to come out. Now, I'm not pretending to be an expert. I am nowhere near an expert on the topic. Yeah, so this is my story. So the question I get asked all the time is, when did you know you were gay? And my response to that question is always, really? As you guys probably have known, or if you know me personally, or if you've watched any of my YouTube videos, the 2 or 3 that are out there, you can probably tell pretty obviously that I am. So it came to no surprise to most of my friends. The first person that I told or convinced that, well, I didn't have to do much, well no, for this person I did have to convince, the rest was more of a duh. The first person I told and I convinced was myself. I know it's really corny and really cheesy, but I still remember to this day the night that I was lying in my bed staring at the ceiling and coming to the conclusion, the realization that the dream of the white picket fence, the 2-story house, the wife and the 2 children and the dog were never going to be in my future. And that was a crushing realization. Something that you want, but it's something that you come to realize that you can't have because it's not who you are. So that was the first person. So the first person was me. The second person that I told was my best friend, Beck. So the story around her was that in year 10 of high school, the girls were introduced to my school. Up until then it was all boys, and then year 10 girls were allowed into the school. So while most boys were running around getting excited, I was running around getting excited for different reasons, because I finally had someone that I could relate to more. I remember I was catching the bus to tennis, and this is her normal bus, and I just caught it every Wednesday to go to tennis. And I remember sitting there on the bus with so much hair gel in my head that you could knock on it and it was solid. Ugh, it was terrible. I remember just sitting there and just struggling, and then I finally just said to her, look, I like boys, I'm gay. And much to my surprise, she was like, the thought that ran through my head that time was, really, bitch? You couldn't even just pretend that you didn't know? Act a little bit surprised? But no. So that started it, and after a while, I sort of built up some more people that I could trust and I could tell. So the next step was to tell my parents. And by now I had this amazing network of friends who loved me unconditionally. And I knew that if things didn't go well with my parents, I always had them, and that they would help me and just be there for me, someone I could talk to. And it was so comforting to know that. So the story of me telling my parents, okay. It was 3 weeks before my 18th birthday, and I decided to tell my parents. There was no noble reason why I decided now was the time. It was more a practical reason. I thought to myself, 18th birthday party, you're probably gonna get drunk. And I did get drunk. But I thought to myself, you don't want to get drunk and then make out with a boy. You don't want your parents to find out that way. That's not fair. So I thought to myself, what the hell, 3 weeks before my birthday party, everything was booked, everything was paid for, there's no way that they can cancel it. They're gonna have to deal with it. So I'm gonna tell them. What happened was, I came home and my mum was home, and she realized that something was wrong. Because, you know, mums, particularly mothers of gay boys, they know when something is up. There's nothing, you can't get anything past them. They're fabulous. They just know what's going on. Came home, I was sitting on the computer. The computer was in my mum's study, and she was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "Oh no, nothing, don't worry, everything's fine." And she's like, "No, seriously, what's wrong?" I was like, "No, nothing, everything's fine, I'm serious." And she's like, "What did you promise me as a little child?" And I was sort of back, and I was like, that I would never smoke." And she's like, "Oh, well, yes, that, and something else." And I was sitting there going, and I was like, "Oh, thought that was the only thing I promised." And she was like, "No, that you would always talk to me, no matter the problem, and we would always try and work it through together." And that sort of gave me the strength and the confidence to sort of be like, alright. I was umming and ahhing, and I got to I am gay. So you have that split second of, wow, I did it. Oh. Then you've got the, oh my god, what's gonna happen next sort of situation. And pretty typical, mum cried, I cried. She ended up saying to me, "I still love you." And that is the most important thing that came out of that situation. That, you know, she still loved me. And I know parents say that they love you and that their love is unconditional, but no child ever wants to test that. And I felt like that this was testing that conditional love. And you know, she told me that, you know, she loved me, and that was so amazing for me and so loving. And we decided that the best thing to do was for her to tell my dad, and that was sort of the end of the conversation. I went into my room and I just went, I'm gonna just calm down. I got on my laptop and I was talking to all my friends. And then I remember like an hour later, there was this knock on this door. And my mum opened the door and she's like, "Oh, by the way, now that you're gay, I expect your bedroom to be much cleaner." Thanks, Mum. Like, that's typical of my mum. So my advice is to keep talking about it. Get your parents or whoever you're telling used to it. If you don't, it's sort of, so it becomes a taboo subject, and it's, while your sexuality doesn't define you as a person, it is a part of who you are, and it links to many facets of your life. So being comfortable about talking about it is something that's really important. Yeah, so that's my story, really. My parents are totally fine with it now. They love me. And like I said, I'm incredibly lucky. One of the greatest things I can sort of say to you guys, it does get better. My challenge to you guys is to go out there and get yourself an amazing network. Yeah, and that's it. So this is